head in.
All right, we're live. Welcome to the Rivian R2 watch party. I'm here with Fred Lambert, and we have Jamie Dow, who's actually at the event, and you can see him down there. Maybe I'll put him on a bigger screen so we can see. Wow, you're outside the event right now, I see, in Laguna.
Let me show you real quick the sign. There we go. Old theater, I think 1939. It was a long time ago, and it's beautiful.
You're cutting off a little bit, Jamie, right now.
Yeah, I might want to hit the Wi-Fi or something.
Yeah, are you on the Wi-Fi right now, or are you on your LTE or 5G?
I might be on the edge of the Wi-Fi. Anyway, we're right next to the beach.
Okay, we got the beach.
And there's
the store is right next to the beach.
Yeah, it's a pretty good view from the store.
Right across from the beach. I'll head back inside now that we get closer to the Wi-Fi. The event is beautiful. They totally redid the space. This used to be a theater.
We're losing Jamie a little bit again.
Set up on seats, so I think, and then join you later.
Yeah, I think with all the phones in there and all the people with all the streaming things going, it's hard to hear or see Jamie, but we're getting some good stills from Jamie.
Oh, sorry. It just switched to Wi-Fi, I think. So maybe. Anyway.
Well, now we can hear you. Okay, it's just we're not the image is not updating.
Well, hopefully the Wi-Fi will work. I'll come back on in a little bit.
Okay, you're cutting off a lot, Jamie, but we'll get back to you in a. The plan for the show tonight is it's a watch party, everyone. So Jamie is live, and he's going to be able to give us his impression right after. Hopefully, once he has a better connection, and okay, and so we'll watch the event together, comment on it together. We'll have all the details as they come out. Though obviously, if you've been following the news about Rivian in the last week or so, you know that we already know a lot about the R2 thanks to a few leaks. But we are hopeful that, well, not just hopeful. I mean, we still have a lot to see in terms of the actual design of the vehicle, and we are hopeful that there might be a few surprises, both with the specs and the features. And maybe also we haven't seen anything that the R2 is, with the R1S and R1T. Is the R2 really just the R2, or is this the R2S or R2T? I feel like I'm talking in codes right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, obviously the Tesla Model Y is a derivative of the Tesla Model 3, which is a sedan. Mm-hmm. So, if they're making a Model Y size vehicle, well, why can't they make a Model 3 size vehicle or, an El Camino or, whatever? Like there's a lot of optionality they can do with a platform like that. So there's hopefully going to be some good surprises here, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're hopeful. But for those who are not aware of the leak that happened 2 days ago, the leak came from Rivian itself. It was kind of a rookie mistake where they went online with the code before they went online with the code in the back end of it, not in the front end of the website. But still, if you inspected the code from the source directly, you basically had the update from when the R2 page was going to be live. Right now, it's just a teaser and the event, obviously. The unveiling that it's going to happen in 15 minutes. But for those who don't remember or didn't check it out, I can go through the leak real quick. And if you guys have also any questions for that might occur both right now or throughout the event, please let us know in the comment section, because we do have Jamie at the event live to investigate. And we are going to have also access to RJ Scaringe, the CEO and founder of Rivian, later on today. So anything that you guys want to know, we can pass on later today. So yeah, what we included in the leak earlier this week. First, the bad news. Coming in 2026, so it's not coming anytime soon. Still about 2 years away. Not ideal. The rest, though, looks on point. So we're talking about a starting price of $47,000, real nice. A range of up to 330 miles, really good also. Though obviously, to be clear, I'm using information here that was in the source code of the website. So it's like the marketing information about the R2. Like if you go on the R1S page right now or the Tesla Model Y page right now, you get, the up to kind of figures and everything, the starting at. So obviously, I don't think you're going to get a 330 miles car for $47,000. This is probably $47,000 going to be a smaller battery pack option, probably. I don't know. Do you think it's going to be a rear-wheel drive, or do you think even the standard version will be all-wheel drive?
That's a great question. I don't know. I guess maybe to get it to 47,000, maybe they do that. I don't know. I can't tell you.
Yeah, I'm not convinced on that too. So yeah, but up to 330 miles, that's real nice. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. So for what is like kind of a boxy looking SUV, really is pretty good. 5-seater, that's what we expected. The leaks does mention a NACS charge port, which is not surprising, obviously, because they did talk about starting in 2025 adopting NACS on new vehicles, so that's natural. Did say that it's going to support NACS and CCS, so not sure if it's a dual port situation or they're going to have a NACS to CCS adapter this time. Oh, we have Jamie back on.
All right, Jamie.
Howdy. Here we are in the event. I don't know if everyone can see this time, but
yeah, your connection is pretty good right now.
Great. I'm up here in the press gaggle area.
Okay.
They've given us the best view, which is great.
Nosebleeds.
And I don't know if you heard this before, but this event, usually it looks kind of like a regular theater. Like up here, there's seats and a screen that's further back. They completely transformed it for today, which is pretty cool. And of course, I'm happy about it because my friend is the designer, the chief designer at Rivian, my friend from high school. So she did this whole thing herself, or her team did the whole thing. So I've been texting her on Instagram saying, "Hey, great job."
And do you believe the car is going to drive in through the front door, or how is the vehicle going to get in there?
I think it's probably we've got a rotating
oh yeah,
stage here, so it's probably coming. I think it's going to have to come from the screen from behind because there's a lot of room back there anyway. Because the building continues on further. They're talking to us. Please make your way to your seats. Okay, they want us to be in our seats, which is where I am. So,
good job.
I'm pretty sure it's going to come out from here. They're probably going to lift the screen out of the way. I feel like there's room back behind the screen. They're not coming in through the doors, so they're definitely coming from there. So there you go. Yeah, we got a rotator here that's going to be cool. So I think after the event, I'll be able to get up on the stage, get in the car. I'll leave you guys during the event, but then afterwards, I'll get in the car, I'll look around, try not to break too many things inside the car, and hopefully be able to join you guys live and see what it looks like on the inside.
Awesome. Thank you. All right.
So yeah, they're probably going to yell at me soon, so I'm gonna cut back off, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
All right. Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie. We'll come back to you and after the unveiling.
Let's hit some questions here. Jamie has his measuring tape out. I think we have almost all the dimensions already, but I'm sure he'll take a look. R2D2 is a funny name that it could be. All right. I wonder if they will announce lease plans for the other states. I think they're at 9 states right now. The big ones: New York, California, Texas. I'm sure that's on their mind. Is it at Laguna Beach? Yes, it's actually. We were looking earlier. Literally, you can see the beach from the storefront. So
Yeah, that's an insane location for a car store.
yeah, and it's so Rivian's headquarters is in Irvine, which is inland just a bit. So I'm sure all the Rivian folks like to roll down there to Laguna
Engineering
Beach.
headquarters, I think.
Where is the regular headquarters? I thought that was
It's
the
not
big
in Normal.
headquarters.
I thought it was in Illinois with the factory. No.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's wherever RJ is probably. Arlo says honestly, the static image could be a record cover.
Oh yeah, Jamie has a real good eye for that. He should be an art director.
Yeah. Will the tax credits for the USA still be in place released by 2026? That might depend on Congress and the president, the election coming up here. So
yeah, that's it. Your guess is as good as ours on this one. But technically, though, if it is, and if it's still the current regulation with the battery components requirements, the critical material sourcing requirements, I would assume that Rivian would be in good position because obviously this vehicle is supposed to be built in Georgia at the new plant, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure it's going to be confirmed today, though. And the right now, a lot of the effort around any automakers working on new EV programs is built around making sure that you do have access to that tax credit, and that means sourcing the critical materials from North America or from countries that have free trade agreements with the U.S.
All right, Dan Risu says there was an image posted today of the R2 arriving at Laguna under a black cover. However, the rims were completely visible, and it was the same rims as Electrek's image of the vehicle backed into the charger, which was on the post earlier. So probably confirms that that's the what we're looking at here. Let's see. Based upon the specs that were leaked, looks like the R2 is going to be slightly larger than the Model Y. I would love to see a third row option eventually, even if it's for smaller kids. Actually, I think it's a little shorter than the Model Y.
Yeah, I think it's basically the same size. Like if there's dimension that they're not exactly the same, they are within an inch.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little taller, but I don't think it's going to be. And the Model Y third row is kind of, I don't want to say it's a joke because certain people can use it for certain things, but it's really not a third row in the traditional sense. Yeah.
But you're right though. I don't think it's taller overall, but it is obviously taller in the back than the Model Y. So that could be useful for a third row for sure.
All right, DC 92309 says I work at the Rivian plant in Normal, and there's definitely a sense of excitement around the R2. That's good to know.
Well, they need it.
Yeah, although it's not going to be built in Normal, it's going to be built in Georgia. I think.
Yeah, the company as a whole needs it. Yeah.
All right, HQ is in Irvine. Normal is the plant.
Okay.
Yeah. Congrats as a customer and car enthusiast. I'm excited too. If the R2 is introduced in 2 years, SSBs might be an option. Is Rivian looking at that technology? What are we doing? SSBs, single
solid state batteries, I would assume.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Normally, I'm always like, don't count on solid state. But honestly, if that thing is coming in 2026, they are right now. We do know of like legit automaker programs with prototype cells in the cars, like Solid Power has talked about it. QuantumScape has talked about it. So I don't know if those companies have any relationship with Rivian, though. I'm just saying that they have confirmed that they have vehicle programs that are there now. So yeah, 2 years from now, I think going from batteries and prototype cars to production is not wild guess. However, I always thought that the solid state batteries would be first in higher end vehicles. So obviously, Rivian wants to hit their cost points here with the cheaper R2. So I don't know if that's going to be the way to go for the R2.
All right, Crimson Decade says real question is if the real price, are they going to pull a Tesla BS where 47 becomes 80K? They're talking about the Cybertruck price. I think Rivian's a little bit more tempered in their predictions. I do believe that they're going to try to get the 47,000 price.
They did it with the R1T though.
Well, they eventually did, but like the people who ordered early, and I believe you're in that group Fred.
Yeah.
You still haven't gotten your vehicle yet.
Yeah, they did it right for the reservation holders, but the price did go up, obviously.
Yeah. So I would say, it's 2 years away. I think they're being realistic with their time frames instead of being like, again, Tesla's very optimistic and they say, hey, it's going to be at the end of the year, and then they sell a couple to their employees, and then they start ramping up toward the end of the year or end of the next year.
And obviously they are competing with the R2 in a very competitive segment of small SUVs. Even the electric one now with the Model Y being the best-selling car in the world, like they're gonna have to be competitive in price to make this car work. So I'm sure that 47,000 right now sounds good, and it sounds like it's right in the right spot.
All right, Greg Shaw says, I've got stock in all three: Tesla, Rivian, and what was the third? I wonder what we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm not,
maybe Lucid.
Maybe he mentioned. Maybe is it the guy that said the solid state thing?
Oh yeah, that's probably it. So QuantumScape,
solid power, and I don't know which Rivian. I would assume, but I don't know.
Maybe. All right. Do we see rear cargo room being decent? It is a square back, so you're going to have less curve down. I know that's going to allow for more cargo space, and then obviously a big frunk is going to help. And Rivian's frunks are quite large usually. So I think it's going to be pretty good in the cargo space front.
Well, obviously that's something that we're going to have Jamie look out and look out after the unveiling. I would assume that Jamie's going to have a post with pictures that he takes directly from the event. So,
yeah. 47K after tax credit, and the company won't survive 5 years. I think the 47K is pre-tax credit. You can't really advertise.
Well, again, that was directly from the website. Starting price 47. So there might be a possibility that it is after, but I don't see it. I would be surprised.
So that means under 40,000 after tax credit for many people. That's a pretty good starting point.
Yeah, just like the Model Y. Yeah,
but it's also realistic. Did it reveal yet? No, but the good news is we are 2 minutes away.
Yeah. From the start of the stream, obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if RJ starts out with a little speech, but I'm sure we won't have to wait long before we get a look at the vehicle. Oh, is that the stream starting?
Yeah, that's the stream starting. So let's blow it up here.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll get the volume going. Can you hear that, Fred?
Yeah.
Okay,
some
cool.
Nice little elevator music, a little lounge music going on, and then a little R1T on the screen, looking sharp in a sort of cartoon-looking version.
That looks like the Venice store right there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's a nice one. Kevin loves long speeches. Well, we'll see what happens. Should we look
there's
at the
an
stock
election
price?
coming, so you're gonna have a lot of that. All right, and on my side, I'm working on the article at the same time. So obviously, this is gonna be like we're calling it a watch party. So it's not we're not doing a formal podcast. I don't know. We're not even gonna release just the audio of that, right, Sid?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not worth it. So we appreciate there's already 1,000 people in the room. That's awesome. I appreciate you guys to join in to watch the show with us, to watch the unveiling. But it's a very informal thing where you're gonna get our real-time impression of that, and then obviously right after we get Jamie's impression in person. If he's allowed to, you're probably gonna live stream a first look at the car as he approach it. And obviously, don't forget the RJ interview. That won't be live on this right away, but we're going to get it up online as soon as humanly possible. Am I from Montreal?
All right.
Yes, I am.
Here we go. R2T. I hope so. All right.
Looks like some image of like the adventures you get into with Rivian vehicles. Rivian has been really strong with their marketing of their vehicle being adventure vehicle.
Please welcome founder and chief executive officer of Rivian, RJ Scaringe.
You're from Toronto. Is the stream lagging on your end? Or?
No, it's okay. It's starting on time, which is weird for a electric vehicle event when you're used to Tesla.
Lagging a bit on the stream yard.
Wow. I'm so excited to have all of you here. This is a moment that's been building for so long for us, and to have so many friends, family supporters that are here. It's like moving. I can feel it in my soul right now. So thank you guys. We've got a lot to talk about today. I started Rivian, and really at the core of it, every decision we make, the products, the strategy, what we're building, how we go about building our business, the way we structure our teams, the way we think about our culture, has been built around this idea of keeping the world adventurous forever. And so much of that ties into this world of forever, or into this word of forever. And forever is an intimidating word. It's a word that means so many things, it's hard to even capture what that represents. And when we look at that word, when we think about what we're building, what we're creating, it extends beyond us. It extends beyond what we're doing today, what we're doing this month. And we often say we're building a world thinking about our kids. And it's our kids, that mindset that informs how we make product decisions, and it informs, really importantly, how we make the products what they are. So today, when we think about that and we look at what we're going to be showing you, just recognize the thoughtfulness that thousands and thousands of decisions have gone into those products. And to start that, we developed our R1 product line really as our handshake with the world. These are products that redefined what a truck was, what an SUV was, and enabled a level of performance, capability, everyday usability that really never before been seen. And that was built on this deep desire, this really deep desire to make products that not only enabled the types of adventures we want to take photographs of, the kinds of things we want to remember 20 years from now, 100 years from now, but also inspire those things. Inspire you to say yes to things that scare you, to explore, to do new things. And that desire to explore feeds into all the things that we drive as a business. And hopefully you see that in our future products and what's to come. Now, beyond just the desire to explore, we also need to make sure that these products are safe. And a huge part of what we're building has been built around safety.
So you said products,
the R1 products, plural. Every decision that had to do with structure or the way the vehicle was packaged was laddering into the goal of making these not only a safe vehicle, but the safest truck and the safest SUV in the world. So the R1T and the R1S achieved that. Top Safety Pick Plus, the highest safety rating on the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, 5-star standard, and they're incredible. Now, linked to all this is a technology platform we created. We built software, we built electronics, we designed entirely in-house a network architecture that allows our vehicles to get better and better over time. And I see a lot of our owners out here, and I know one of the things that's most followed is what's the next set of features to drop? And we get to make improvements to the software, we get to add new features. I get tons of feedback. My dad will send me, whether he likes it or not, sometimes very strongly worded. But we love the feedback. We love the opportunity to be really integral and connected to our community as we're making all these decisions. We think about our community, we think about our owners. It's such a powerful part of what we're building. When I started, I can remember back, it was, we had all these things we wrote. We thought about what do we want to become as a company? And one of the things that inspired us so deeply was to say, can we create something that inspires people? It inspires us to behave differently. It inspires us to show up as our best self. And that was embodied in this goal of creating a movement or a community of users, a community of customers that just loved the product and had an orientation and optimism around the future that was so core to who we are. And there's so many ways to look at this. There's so many stories. I get lots of emails. I love sharing with the team. Emails from customers who are doing really amazing things. So here's one that just embodies it beautifully. This is Milo. Imagine you're driving down the highway. You see a semi-truck in a ditch. And you not only think to yourself, I'm going to pull over and see if they're all right, I'm going to try to pull them out of the ditch. And so much in this embodies Rivian. It's that orientation to help, but it's also the fact that the vehicle can pull a semi out of a ditch. And so I used to get asked the question, can a Rivian vehicle tow? And I'd always jokingly say, it can tow a house across the street. Just how far do you want to tow it? But
that guy filmed that very well.
Yeah, the technology and the software and propulsion and towing capability is really the other element of how our brand manifests, which is our spaces. And we're sitting in one today. This is normally a movie theater. It doesn't look like one right now, but normally there'd be seats right here. And this is an example of the types of spaces we want to create as a company. Spaces that are active elements of the community, pull people in, drive discussion, enable the types of dialogue around what's coming in terms of electrification, what we have to drive in terms of change. And this is one of many spaces. And we're building more of these, and we have them across the US. And each one of these is special. Each one has some unique link to the community that it's in. And these are a chance for us to physically manifest our brand in a very unique way. But beyond the spaces like this, we also have a whole network of service infrastructure we've created. And when we think about service, your mind immediately goes to the idea of going to a physical service location. But actually, more than half of our service is done with our mobile service fleet. So we have over 500 mobile service trucks, our R1T, and mobile service vans that actually show up at your house, show up at your work, and we can fix your vehicle there. But in addition to that, for things that we can't fix in your driveway or fix in a parking lot at your office, we do have a physical service infrastructure. We have 54 service locations today. These are rapidly ramping up. And these are beautiful spaces, enthusiastic team members, and we've just started doing test drives out of these to get more people exposure, not just to Rivian, but importantly to electrification and what it feels like to drive an electric vehicle, something that really completely changes the way you think about the way a car operates. So we wouldn't be talking about electric vehicles in this massive transition where we have to move 1.5 billion vehicles in our global fleet over the next, hopefully, few years, maybe a couple of decades, to electric without thinking about charging infrastructure. And one of the elements of charging that we often don't fully appreciate is most of it happens at home. More than 90% of your charging is happening actually in your garage. But you do need to go point to point. You need to go from Washington, D.C. to New York, from San Francisco to L.A. Or if you don't have a garage, you need a way to charge your vehicles. So we're also building a high-speed charging network. We call it a Rivian Adventure Network. It's rapidly being built out. Within a few years, we'll have 600 of these charging locations. And it'll be an open network. So it'll be Rivian vehicles as well as non-Rivian vehicles. And
that
beyond
wasn't
that,
originally
we,
the case.
of course, integrate across the other third-party platforms. And importantly, in fact, this month, our vehicles will be able to access the Tesla Supercharger network. And that's for existing customers. But I think we're going to see a big shift in the mosaic of charging solutions, and the technology and the platform we developed with our Rivian Adventure Network is really key for that. Now, powering that network and powering this transition to electrification, we can think about the end vehicle, the use of that vehicle as driving this change, driving a downstream demand shift from, of course, gasoline or diesel to electric, but we also need to create the upstream supply of renewable energy. And this is an area we've been really focused on, and we're committed to building out over 7 billion miles of renewable energy by 2030. And so those projects are already underway, and the downstream demand that all of our customers, all of our owners collectively represent, enable us to create this new upstream supply of renewable energy. So, we're here to talk about what's next.
Let's go. Come on.
We're here to talk about how all this brings us to our next set of products, and really how we get a lot more people into our products, into our brand. And how do we make Rivian more accessible to a lot more people? So with that, let me introduce you to R2.
All right. Now's the meat of the event. Let's go.
Hey, you ready?
All right.
That was it?
I think so.
It looks so much like our R1X. Like you need an R1X next to it.
Glass roof.
Yeah. Glass roof.
It's a good look.
Oh, nice seat. The proportions, yeah, they're good.
Honestly, they could have had one of these in the open, and nobody would have known it was like an R1.
Yeah, but they like the R1S proportions like fit well with that size too. Like that's almost has kind of a Jeep feel at that size, like the proportions.
Yeah. Jamie was right. It's coming from behind the stage.
Screen specifically.
Glass roof.
I mean, if you like the R1S, it's pretty much it in the smaller form. No. To be fair, there is design changes. Oh, it looks like I do like the hood too. It's nice.
Yeah. This is Jeff, our Chief of Design. Jeff and the team have done just an incredible job of being the driving force behind our products. We've been working together since well before the R1, so it is so amazing, Jeff, to see this, and to you and the team, amazing work.
Thank you.
So it is so awesome to show this. I've been waiting for this for a while, and there's a lot to talk about here. The vehicle combines capability, performance, utility, storage, functionality in a way that we think just really fits right into a huge customer need and a huge need within the market. The vehicle size, the vehicle capability really has been optimized around enabling, as I said, and inspiring all those adventures. And so we're going to walk through the vehicle, but just starting here at the front. In the front of the vehicle, we have a large front storage trunk.
Looks huge.
For those that are familiar with R1, of course.
It does look big.
This should be very relatable. But this is great for putting luggage, backpacks, your gear. It's one of the most used storage areas of our R1 vehicle. We get to see the data on how all of our owners are using it. But it is just an awesome setup. And of course, this also serves to support a lot of the front safety in the vehicle in terms of the crash structure that you saw in those R1 videos. Now, if we go around
no button
the side of the vehicle, it's hard to see without sitting in it. But so much effort has gone into making sure the packaging, not just in the front row, but also in the second row, creates this really airy, really comfortable, really spacious experience. Something that really is world class. There's nothing quite like it in this size of vehicle where you get in and you feel so comfortable and it feels so inviting. And we're going to take a look at the interior in a second. But first, just walk around the back. We did a lot of work to create something that builds a really open air experience. And you just saw, or maybe you saw, these quarter windows pop out.
Oh, this is interesting.
What that does is
it's Bronco-like.
We leverage the negative pressure off the back of the vehicle to pull natural air through, and it creates this beautiful open air feeling experience. And then the rear glass, which you just saw drop, also opens. And now the rear glass opening, it literally feels like an open air experience.
And we were talking about like why they didn't do this on gas cars is because the exhaust would go inside the car, and you don't have to worry about that with the EVs.
You can put longer gear, and as you just saw, the second row seats fold flat, but also the first row seats fold flat. And the first row seats folding flat That gives you,
how's that look like?
If you're driving the vehicle, you can put long things in very easily. But if you're not driving the vehicle, let's say you're camping or staying overnight in the vehicle, it creates this awesome in-vehicle camping experience with an inflatable mattress.
You camp all the way in the front.
So walking around here to the side, you're thinking to yourself, well, how does the vehicle size? You're probably looking at me. I'm about 6'1", trying to figure out how does this compare to an R1. Well, we'll tell you, it's about 400 millimeters shorter than an R1S.
Oh, that's nice.
And in addition to being shorter, it's quite a bit shorter in wheelbase. It's also lower in height. And it fits into any garage. It fits into tight spaces, really maneuverable. But to look at it in a driving environment is really helpful. So we'll show you it here next to an R1S. It looks awesome. It looks really like, just two family members out for a stroll.
Oh, wow. It does look much smaller.
I love that.
Wow.
So let's take a look at the inside. And when we think about the design of an interior of the vehicle, a lot of that ties to just what's in the materials, what's in the packaging, what does it make you feel? What's that environment feel like?
It's weird that he's not going actually inside the vehicle.
And so we spent a lot of time working through those materials and the overall packaging to create an experience that is as inviting as one could imagine. And we have a lot of feedback from R1. And one of the points of feedback was a desire for a glove box. And we had lots of reasons to not have one.
Two glove boxes.
What kind of reaction is that for glove box?
Three. Let's do three glove boxes.
On R2, we over-delivered, and we put 2 glove boxes in.
It's like razor
The other
blades.
thing, there's lots to see here, but one of the things that's so exciting is the way we've looked at the controls. And we have
the dash.
These really nice,
Honestly,
large
use my glove box
scroll wheels
twice
in the steering wheel. There's dynamic haptic feedback. So it allows us to adjust what it's feeling like when you're scrolling. And it's magical. It takes our existing scroll wheel and really up-levels it to a degree that's hard to fully appreciate unless you're sitting in the car. Now, jumping back out, a lot of work went into the doors. Move the speaker out of the door, gives us space for a large water bottle here. And of course, it wouldn't be a Rivian if we have a flashlight in the door. So, really love that. Super handy. So now, how does this set up in terms of how it functions? And we built an entirely new platform to underpin this vehicle. A lot of work went into driving manufacturing cost efficiency. And it's built around a 4695 cell. So it's a cylindrical cell, 46 millimeters in diameter, 95 millimeters tall. It's a much larger cell than the 21 millimeter diameter cell that we have in
bigger than the 4680, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And that cell's integrated into a highly structural battery pack. So the battery pack in the floor actually makes up a big part of the vehicle structure. The top of the battery pack is actually the floor of the vehicle. So a lot of these innovations that we're driving into how we build the vehicle are core to us making sure the price point can be really affordable. We'll get to that later.
Kind of know already.
From a drivetrain point of view, we have a single motor, rear-wheel drive variant.
Single motor.
Okay.
We have a dual motor, 1 motor in the front, 1 motor in the back, all-wheel drive variant. And then we have a tri-motor, 2 motors in the back, 1 in the front.
That's the 3 seconds.
And the high performance variant of the vehicle, 0 to 60, under 3 seconds.
Well under 3 seconds.
Yeah, so it's very quick.
Jeez.
And then all those motor combinations can achieve over 300 miles in range.
Okay.
That's impressive with this boxy shape.
So much of what a Rivian is capturing the dynamics of the vehicle. And we needed to make sure that all the decisions we made in the aggregate, the suspension, the drivetrain, the battery positioning, the packaging of the vehicle, delivered something that drove like nothing else. Something that was exciting on-road, something that was incredibly capable off-road, but had the everyday refinement and usability to work if you're parking it in San Francisco or driving it in New York. And so that focus on dynamics is so embedded in our culture as an organization and embedded, of course, into our products. Now, we talked about the vertically integrated electronics we built that enable this amazing software platform that we've seen in R1. We take that even further in R2. We talked about how the packaging and the design of the structure allows us to achieve really amazing, amazing manufacturability. But we've also focused a lot on sensors and the compute in our vehicle. And this has 11 cameras, 5 radars, 4 radars in the corner, 1 long-range radar in the front, which we couple with our new, much higher compute platform, which will enable this to have a very high level of self-driving. And for us, that represents being able to get on the highway, take your hands off the wheel, eyes off the road, and truly operate it where you get your time back.
So level 3?
And that's, to our self-driving team, we're really excited about what this vehicle represents for us. Now, I do want to talk just a bit about how we've laid out the manufacturing system here. And I talked before about battery pack, but every single decision in a vehicle, and I say this a lot, you look at a vehicle in the aggregate like this, and it looks like, maybe there was a few thousand decisions. There's millions of decisions that have to be made across thousands of engineers. And those thousands of engineers making those collectively millions of decisions, we're incredibly focused on ensuring every one of those is not only optimizing for what the ownership experience will be, but optimizing our ability to make this very affordable and very accessible. And so the R2 starting price will be $45,000.
45, not 47.
Yeah, even the leak doesn't have their own website on that.
$2,000 delivery charge. I mean, rear wheel drive.
And you can reserve one starting today. Already got mine. Yes. I love that. I'm so excited about this vehicle. I'm so excited about what it represents for us as a company in terms of achieving scale, what it represents for us in terms of our collective learning being embodied into one vehicle as the follow product to what we did with our flagship product with R1. But it's important to note, R2 represents not just a vehicle, but it also represents a platform. And
there you go.
The one more thing. Performance, the capabilities, but also the flexibility from a manufacturing point of view is really important for us. And
Maverick.
I'm really,
I hope it's a pickup.
Really excited to talk about R2's sibling, which we call R3.
What?
Huh? No, that makes no sense.
It's gonna be a car. It's gonna be a car.
Is it?
What is it?
No, it might be a pickup.
It's a car, I think.
Some old competitor. No? It's
Yeah, it reminds me of the Ioniq 5.
Yeah, Ioniq size.
Yeah, they're making cars, dude.
I mean, look at this.
And that has
that
that.
Just popped.
You better start writing. Oh, wow.
I was already writing the R2 now, like me.
So you didn't expect that one more thing here.
That thing looks good.
So R3 is, we're so excited about what this sort of delivers beyond what we see in R2. It takes the package of R2 and the platform, it shrinks it, it puts it into our take on what is a crossover. And it's a vehicle that's almost hard to define what it is, but it so beautifully captures our brand. It captures what we represent as a company.
It reminds me of a better-looking Gremlin.
Incredible, the shorter wheelbase, the tighter dimensions.
Not a Gremlin.
Much better-looking
really enabled
Gremlin,
to be something that's maneuverable and drivable. But as tidy as it is on dimensions on the outside, we've put so much effort into making sure that the inside feels big. And much like we saw on R2, there's a lot of work that went into everything that you see in the rear of the vehicle, the occupant areas in the front of the vehicle. But this is all enabled by the platform. And it's about 5 inches shorter, 135 millimeters shorter than what you see in R2 in terms of wheelbase, but leveraging all that same content. So the single motor, the dual motor, and a tri-motor, the beautiful battery pack built around a larger format cell, our network architecture. Really excited about that. Oh, hello. So up front, we have a front storage trunk, much like what we had in R2. And that storage area of the vehicle, you can use to through all your gear, your bags, and something like this. Wonderful for that everyday urban usability.
He's not opening it.
Adventure usability.
Yeah, it might
but
be
I want to
very
spend some time in
beta.
the back.
Yeah, it might,
And we
come
spent
much later.
so much time
maybe
as a team thinking about working on how do we create a unique closure experience in the back. And what you just saw happen is the rear liftgate came up, just like we saw in R2. The first and the second row seats fold flat. So it creates an opportunity for in-car camping, or it creates an opportunity to carry your long gear. But when we close this, there's a second way to get to the back, which we call our flipper glass. And
okay.
What I love
but you
about
cannot
this
drive with that.
is it makes it easy to get things in and out, but this actuation can actually go to multiple heights. So if you're carrying something that's longer, that could be a surfboard, it could be stuffed animals, it could be a trombone. You can adjust the height here,
you can drive with
and it's a user setting.
So Rivian
to
stock
make it
just
really easy
went
to
up
carry
to
those
12.
bigger objects or bigger things around. And as I said, everything as we thought about this vehicle was around making a smaller car feel really big. Now, looking at the interior, a lot of what we saw on the on the R2 carries over here. So the use of materials, the way we think about the sustainability of those materials, how durable they are, and really embodying that Rivian feel is driven into this. And I wish we could all sit in the car right now. But same thing we had with our R2 with the control wheels and the steering wheel. Lots of flexibility in terms of storage, 2 glove boxes, and of course, we still have a flashlight here.
There's flashlight.
The Bluetooth speaker didn't make it over.
Yeah. I mean, it is a smaller form factor.
Now, we talked about platform flexibility. Hopefully you're seeing that here between R2 and R3. The ability for these 2 vehicles with really common family genes. You can feel their siblings. They look like the Rivians. They feel like the Rivians. Unfortunately, you can't all drive them to say they drive like the Rivians, but I can guarantee they do. But there's one more thing. One more thing. And looking at R3, we wanted to take everything that's embodied and put it into an even higher performance package. And this is something we call R3X.
So it's going to have
a hot hatch?
tri-motor.
Like a nice hot hatch thing?
Uh-oh.
This is kind of a hatchback.
What is going on right now? It's amazing that this didn't get leaked in any way, shape, or form. I mean, they were making videos. It's a new vehicle. Rivian just crossed 12. Stock price is booming right now. It's up 10% on the day. So it's the same vehicle, it just looks...
Is it lifted a bit? Yeah.
Thank you, Max.
I don't know if I call that three new cars.
All right, so it's the sporty version, tri-motor.
I mean, this is just so cool. This is the vehicle. When we walk around in the studio, everybody sees it and they're like, "Oh, I want that so bad." And I think that happens for anybody that sees it. But this captures, as you can see, R3, but pulls a level of deep performance capability into it. And there's lots of subtle differences. It's a wider wheel and tire, a little wider stance, more ground clearance, tri-motor setup, and a focus on really taking the capabilities of what Rivian represents and
if
really
that thing
flexing
can be not too
and
heavy,
really
it could be a
showing
fun
that.
car.
And a small car, smaller crossover, delivering a level of on and off road
I mean, what's the
performance
price point going to be?
that will get us all very excited.
39?
Well, that
And what you can't
Not for
see,
the
and I
X,
want to
but
show,
for
is the
the
interior
R3.
on the vehicle is just beautifully laid out. We had a chance to really stretch ourselves. This is an interior combination we internally call rugged playful, because it looks rugged and it looks playful. But the use of materials and the use of how we laid out
with
those
the
materials with cork
different
and
color
with interesting weaves and
mirrors.
interesting ways to anodize metal. It
interior
feels
looks
so
nice, though.
uniquely Rivian, but also so unique to this vehicle and to the performance variant. Now, as we think about this portfolio of vehicles, R2, R3, R3X, I can see from the room, everyone is excited. We are so excited. These represent our future. These represent what we've been building to, the brand that we established with the R1 products and positioning Rivian to take that further and make that more accessible to more people. And we've been working hard to find ways to pull the timing on these programs forward, to get them to as many people as possible, as quickly as possible.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, I'm excited to say that we're going to be pulling the timing in to allow R2 to start deliveries in the first half of 2026. And we're able to do that. We're able to achieve that accelerated timing by leveraging our production capabilities in Normal. Using our Illinois site to launch R2 and get that into market as quickly as we can. Now, our Georgia site remains really important to us. It's core to the scaling across all these vehicles between R2, R3, R3X, and we're so appreciative of all the partnership we've had there. But being able to leverage the team, the skill, the passion we have in our Illinois facility to get that into the market, to get that to customers, some of those orders I heard over there, as quickly as possible, we are just ecstatic about. Now, hopefully you see, when we look at our products, when we look at R2, when we look at R3, we look at R3X, every decision, as I said, ties to making sure these vehicles enable and inspire the kinds of things we want to take photographs of, the kinds of things we want to remember 20 years from now, 30 years from now. And so we've also developed a set of accessories that sit on these products. Yes. That link to making and building those memories.
That's the bike thing.
So we have a tent that's so beautifully integrated that goes onto the top of R2 or R3. We have bike racks that make the use of bikes really easy. We want all of our vehicles to be the easiest vehicle to go biking with. And we have a really clever way to think about a kitchen and rear storage plugging into our storage ports in the back of the vehicle. But ultimately, we as a company, we as Rivian, we exist to not only help transition the world away from combustion fuels and into electrification, we exist to help generate amazing memories in the process of doing so.
The market is loving it right now, up 8.5. Yeah, they didn't announce price on the R2, R3 and R3X. As far as I can tell.
I mean, I have to imagine it's less, but maybe not much less. I love getting a surprise, though.
Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us today to hear about our future. We couldn't be more excited.
Is that it?
Yeah, it sounds like that. All right, we'll see if we can have Jamie back on to access the cars.
And also, should we get Scooter and Peter involved in writing these up?
Well, I'm already working on the R2 right now.
If you want to assign anything.
Yeah. I don't know if they didn't watch it at the same time. Like, I can get them freed up pretty quick, though.
It looks like in the electric room they're watching.
Oh, yeah? They were watching? I wasn't listening. Okay, I'll assign them then.
All right, so we got lots of comments. I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll just start at the end. I don't think there's going to be test driving. I don't think those vehicles were even real, to be honest with you. I think they were just prototypes.
Well, the R3 looked pretty advanced to me.
The R3 or the R2?
It looked pretty advanced, the R3 for like I know they didn't announce pricing, they didn't announce availability, but I mean, when you show the interior of it, like it's definitely not a clay model. It's definitely like it might not be a fully working prototype in terms of like it doesn't have the powertrain that it should have, but it looked quite advanced on the design side at least.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people agree with you on the Gremlin side of things.
Well, I would say it's somewhere between the Gremlin and the AMC Eagle. Actually, the Eagle is kind of like more of the thing that it looks like. But yeah, I agree. It's going to be a polarizing thing. But I'm already a fan. But you know, I'm used to my Rivian, so I'm not the typical person. All right, let's get out of this and see if we can get Jamie back in. I will jump on him here.
Yeah, so for everyone that's just tuning in, we have Jamie live on site. Looks like he's trying to keep the car.
Hi, everyone. Apparently, we will not get to go inside, which is unfortunate, but I'm right here in front of him. Let me switch my camera around. Maybe I can go... Can I go sideways? Is that possible? I don't know.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Can you guys change the format there?
Yeah, can you change it, or
probably change it, but I don't know how to move.
No, it's gonna have vertical.
I think we're stuck on vertical.
Yeah.
Anyway, up close with the car, it really looks like the form factor of an Ioniq 5 to me.
Yeah, we got that same vibe.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It felt like that immediately when I came out, when it drove out onto the stage, which I like. I really love the Ioniq 5 form factor. I think it's just about the right size for me. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think it is a bit of a surprise. They didn't tell us the availability. They didn't tell us the price, which of course, it's a ways out. I'm sure they had to pull it forward a bit to get people excited. I understand, but I like it. I like smaller cars, so it's cool to me. And then here's the R2, which of course we already knew everything about, except they gave us a $2,000 lower price, which was a nice beating of expectations. I like this rear window. It doesn't look like it opens. I mean, it does open, but as we just saw, but
yeah, that's going to give with the back window opening and the side windows opening, and your driver windows opening. It's going to give a little bit of a convertible type feel for driving around on the beach and stuff.
For sure, absolutely. No, and that's a feature that we saw in the Fisker Ocean, which is a pretty neat feature, and it's a little bit gimmicky, but also when I was driving around with the Fisker Ocean, like it does really reduce the buffeting that you get from the wind when you're driving around with the windows down. So it's a nice practical feature. It's not just flashbang.
Hey, Tanya.
And then here we go. I can actually get a shot of the car.
Jamie, I noticed that the charge port was really small, and like so small that I don't think a CCS2 thing would fit in there. I'm wondering if you can go look at. I wonder if you can go look at the charge point.
I'll see if I can look at it. I don't know if they're going to let me open it, but I'm just going to go ahead and press the button.
Just knock over that kid.
Don't mess around at Electrek. We get you the info.
There it is.
It's pretty tight. There's a lot of people here.
Nope.
Yeah, he's going to the driver's side.
Other side, Jamie.
I can't.
Wrong side. You went by it. It was so small you didn't even see it.
Lots to like about this thing. Hold on. Okay. I don't even know. Yeah,
no,
it is small, right?
Yeah, it's on the back passenger side.
I didn't.
It was where that kid was.
Okay. 1 second. I'm so many people here.
All right, right there. Yeah, where you're looking.
Oh, I see it. Okay, down low. Now I see it. Yeah, it just looks like. Oh wow, that is tiny.
See if you can open it.
Oh yeah, it's just.
Oh, that was Nax.
Tanya closed it.
Sorry, Tanya.
PR closed it for me, but I saw a NACS only port in there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So there you go. That's an exclusive that we weren't allowed to do.
And then check out on the 3. Look how small that thing is.
On the R3, we've got the same thing there.
Yeah, so that's going to be NACS only.
The other one's a lot longer, but that looks like it's also a NACS port.
Can you push it? Is Tanya following you around?
She's not following me around, but I think we got the answer though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You did the job.
So they're probably going to have the opposite of what they have coming. Is instead of a NACS to CCS, they'll have a CCS to NACS adapter.
Right. Well, I mean,
you can use legacy stuff.
Yeah, I think this is better. I mean, this is what we expected. Everyone was going to move to NACS in the future, right? That was always, I feel like that was always the plan. This year is like the weird transitional year where everyone's going with CCS with an adapter, and then next year or the year after, everyone's going to go to NACS. I think that's just the way we're going to see it, right?
Right. But it is weird that they didn't put it on the either the front passenger or the rear driver's side, because that's the easiest way to pull into a Tesla charger. I guess they're doing their own thing.
Well, I mean, so Tesla, yeah, exactly. It is on the opposite side. Well, I mean, we've got those 18-foot cords coming anyway for V4, so I guess, and they could always redesign the charge port and put it on the other side. I was standing next to an engineer.
Yeah, they got 2 years.
Maybe I'll get a chance to ask him that. Ask him why they chose to do that.
Yeah, we are going to have 15 minutes with RJ later. We can ask him that.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I've got the designer right here. This is Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
The designer. But yeah, I could try to ask him why. But he looks like he's pretty occupied right now. Whoop, did I cut off?
Hey, can we see the rear area of the R2? I want to see how much cargo space is back there.
I don't think they're gonna let us open it.
Can you just throw your camera up against the window, maybe?
Okay. We got a lot of.
Even they did see the length of the R3 actually. They did.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you just said.
Oh, can you put your camera up against the window so we can see inside?
Yeah, okay. So it's kind of that same. Please,
nah.
Can I get?
No, you got to touch it.
Not touch it.
Yeah, you can kind of see back there.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks like quite roomy. My dog will enjoy that space.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a pretty standard rear. When they opened it up during the presentation, it did look like the rear seats were kind of. Sorry, I need to just back up just a little bit. Sure. It did look like the rear seats were kind of a little bit of, standard, the exact same that you would expect out of pretty much any rear seat. So I think it is just, it's just a big trunk. That's it. I don't think there's anything particularly interesting. There's a couple of tie downs in there. There's the latch attachments for the.
Do they have any of the new side equipment like bikes and stuff like that?
Side equipment in the trunk,
like the bike holders or the tents or anything like that.
Oh no, they don't have any of the accessories here. They talked about the accessories, but they don't have any of them here.
Okay.
So I mean, I can ask about that. Maybe they'll have them somewhere else, but they're not in the room. So
hey, maybe you can put the camera on the tires, like the exact tire size.
On what?
The tires, the wheel size, the exact wheel size.
Really, I'm gonna step outside for a second. It's very hard to hear what you're saying.
Okay.
It's so loud in here. You're here too? What's up? Hey, I'm live. Are you here on Electrek? Hey, this is a former Tesla employee. What's up?
Hey.
Hey, what'd you think? It was great. It was great. Sorry, but just a bunch of people I know. What was the question, Seth?
So the wheel size, I want to see tires, the tire size. Tire size?
Man, I'm losing Wi-Fi out here.
All right, I'm just.
You're coming out perfect though. That's weird.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna wander around a little bit. It's really loud in here. I'm having a hard time hearing the tire size. That's okay. I'll find the tire size. Thank you for texting that to me, Seth. Let's see what we got. 275 50 R21.
All right, 21 inches.
And then I'm going to see if it's the same in the rear. Let me check. Okay, yeah, it's the same in the rear. That's on the R2. 275 50 R21. And I'm going around to the R3 now. We've got, can't see it, it's too dark in here.
So there's also no pricing on the R3 on the website or anything.
Here, the R3 is on 235 55 R20s.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just a little smaller in all dimensions, and then the R3X is going to be wider tires, I think. Yeah, the R3X is on 255s.
Okay.
And they're R19, which I like that. Give it a little more rubber for more traction, so you can lower the tire pressures a little bit for off-roading and stuff. That's good. Anyway, so we got 3 different tire sizes on the stage right now.
All right. I am going to be gone for a second. I'm reserving mine. R2 right now.
$100 people refundable.
Maybe I should get 6 of them.
They look pretty good. I really like the R3. Okay, I'm going to examine a little bit more. I'm going to ask some questions, bother some people, and maybe I can join you guys again when it gets a little less chaotic. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's perfect, Jamie. Appreciate your work.
All right. Thank you, Jamie.
All right,
did not take me long to order one. I've already ordered a.
It looks like a lot of people are doing that right now.
Yeah.
And I was trying to look at the comments as live as they were coming in, and all the people are like complaining about, oh, it looks just like the R1S. It's not imaginative, like it's not creative and all that. But like, to be honest, like, you look at Tesla vehicles, like you have a design, you have the design cues that makes it like a specific brand vehicle, and Rivian is sticking with that. It makes sense. It's very common within the industry. Like, you look at the Volvos, for example, from one car to the other, it's very similar. So Rivian is sticking to that because it's not like the R1S and the R1T were not well received also in terms of design. So I know that some people don't like the headlights, but some people love them too. So you win some, you lose some. You cannot please everyone. So I don't think that that's really a big issue on that front. The fact that you don't have a radically different design, and same thing for the R3. Oh, yeah, it's R3 and R3X now. But yeah, French Bully keeps like, we know you don't like the way they look, French Bully. It's okay. It's not for you. It doesn't have to be for everyone. But the truth is, the R1S is a very popular SUV right now, whether you like it or not. Like, it is, I think it is the top selling vehicle over $70,000 in the US, which is not a small feat, especially for a relatively new brand. And so it does make sense for them to capitalize on that and enter a much more popular segment, which is smaller SUVs, competing with the likes of the Model Y, obviously, similar pricing and similar size, with a radically different design than the Model Y, obviously. And they have some cool features that you don't see that often. Like Jamie did reference, obviously, the Fisker pair. Is that the one that has the window going down?
I think yeah. I think it's the other, the new one, or the one that's out.
The Ocean doesn't have has a window going down. Oh yeah,
I think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Sure.
But that's pretty cool. The front, I'm looking at the front right now of the R2, and it does look decent size. Definitely smaller than the R1S. Obviously, there's a lot of this huge section around the front that like kind of limits the useful space. I was surprised that RJ said that the most used storage space in the I think he might just said R1 is the front.
That was interesting. I was surprised to hear that as well. That said, I use my frunk all the time for groceries. Obviously,
do you use it more than your trunk?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah, you do. I don't. I use my trunk first, and then I only use my front and my full in the trunk.
I think part of it is that I can open it remotely and close it remotely. It's really easy to open and close. So that's maybe that's one reason why.
Okay. So I mean, there's a lot to like here. I mean, obviously the 45. So the leak was definitely good. Like the leak was definitely from the website, and like the bike month thing is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Coming in 2026 was in there.
The
Acceleration was in there. So they did this. I don't know what happened. Like they did decide we're gonna make a lower price, or maybe that was a whole price in that version of the website.
Or they include delivery charges or whatever.
That's a possibility too, because that's one of the things that you're allowed to advertise the price without is delivery charges, which are often in the $1,000 to $2,000 price range. So that might be an explanation. But $45,000 starting price, assuming you get the tax credit on this thing, it's a very good, very interesting pricing. He did mention still coming in 2026, as the leak suggested. First half, maybe a little bit more interesting than we thought. They say that they're gonna. I don't. Did he really confirm they're gonna start production in Normal? I think, right?
Yeah, that was a change because initially I think they were going to start in Georgia.
Yeah. So that's interesting. I mean, Normal used to be a Mitsubishi plant producing over 200,000 vehicles a year, if I remember correctly. And obviously, Rivian is nowhere near that with the R1T and R1S. So I would assume there's room to grow there. They just recently talked about efficiency improvement, enabling removing a third shift at the factory. So they keep making efficiency improvements. They can fit the other vehicle program in there. Yeah, I mean, I think overall it was a decent launch. It was obviously a lot of what we were expecting. But I like the way the vehicle looks. I like the price point. I like the specs. The only thing I don't like is 2026.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you want, I hate to be the Tesla guy, but Tesla still has room to improve between now and then with the existing lineup that exists in this segment. So that's always a problem. But right now, it does make sense to me.
Yeah.
The R13. What did you think of the R13?
So I like the R13. I agree. It looks like a Hyundai Ioniq a little bit. It actually also, like size-wise, kind of resembles the Volvo EX30, which there's been a lot of hype around. Again, though, that we know it's not coming before 2026. Like that is forever. 2 years from now, at least, maybe 3. I mean, that's forever.
There's no way that I think that Rivian can release the R12 in the same time frame as the R13.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's vice versa. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be at least another year, probably.
Yeah, I would expect so.
Which is like kind of crazy that they even announced it. Like that's a 3 years away kind of vehicle.
I mean, it did give some kind of Fisker. I don't remember what Fisker called their event, but the big event that they had late last year, where they just kept unveiling new prototypes one after the other. Obviously, I hint the comparison there. I think Rivian is much more credible than Fisker, much more solid company, financially speaking too. So it's a little bit more believable. But I do think that they are venturing a little bit into the range of like spreading into thin.
Yeah.
They have to be careful on that, obviously, because they're not yet a profitable company. They don't have positive gross margin just yet. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But at the same time, I do understand the logic of this is especially the R2. I'm not talking about the R3 and the R3X, but the R2 is the logical next step in Rivian's evolution. And with that, you want to start building your consumer base there. So taking reservation at that time does make sense. It's a big planning thing, buying a new car. So you think literally years ahead of time sometimes. Like you think, okay, I'm gonna change my car in 3 years from now, 4 years from now. Like it depends. Everyone has different buying habits when it comes to cars. So I think it makes sense to do it. I know it can be frustrating for people. Like you just see that machine there, and you're not gonna be able to buy it for another 2 years minimum. But I'm hopeful that that Rivian can get there. I think they have what it takes to survive the next 2 years and get that vehicle to market.
Yeah, and we saw the NACS port there. They have a bunch of blank images, and so the website is continuing to be updated.
Yeah, I think they haven't had like press images just yet, but I think I just got a package here just now.
Okay.
Yeah. I just got.
I got the R2 assets, but that goes to an error file, so I don't know.
A Dropbox? No, I just got
Yeah.
a Dropbox with. I think that's correct.
Okay. Oh yeah, Courtney sent a second one.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna add that to the post that I'm writing right now. So I guess we should take some question. Like if you guys have questions especially for RJ Scaringe, CEO of Rivian. I might not be able to get on that interview, but Seth definitely will, potentially Jamie too. So if you guys have specific question that you would want to ask the CEO, just put them in the comment section right now, and we're going to take note of it, and we're going to be able to ask him in just a few hours.
All right, so Dan D says, just bought a Mach-E GT for $31K to hold me over. Soon we'll work with NACS via free adapter, reserved R2 as well. That NACS adapter was cool, like, but it seemed kind of low down, didn't it? Like, it's going to be kind of annoying to have to reach that far down to plug it in. Do you remember where it was? I mean, I guess we could go back.
Do you mean the charge port now?
Yeah, the charge port.
Yeah, it did look like at knee level almost.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird decision. I wonder if that's going to carry over. And it's also on the wrong side. We talked about that, to be at the Tesla superchargers, which I think is a weird decision.
V3, it's the wrong side for V3. V4, you won't have too much of a problem.
Yeah, V4 won't be a problem, but yeah, there's a lot of V3s out there.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Europe, we know that the R2 is going to be in the UK, and I'm sure other EU things will follow. The delivery truck is already in Germany with Amazon, so confused by their charge port location. Why go passenger side? Yeah, we talked about that. We don't know if it's got 800 volt architecture. Did they say anything about that? I don't think so.
No, I don't remember. Was there even anything about charging other than the NACS connector?
I mean, they didn't even say that. I mean, they said it was going to have NACS and be available on
yeah,
but not much else. GM charge port. Okay. We don't know towing capabilities. Did they say anything about towing? I don't think so. Battery architecture, adjustable height. I have a feeling that the higher end trims will have some of these things, like adjustable height. I'm sure towing. Don't know if the rear wheel drive version will have towing. Anyone catch RJ used two hands to open the R2T at first? Handles not presented, but R3X, they were presented. Yeah, I mean, we're still dealing with prototypes, but I did notice that. I noticed also he had to close the frunk as well on the R1S. The frunk is a button, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. The delivery van started delivery in the Netherlands. I think it's also in Germany, and a few other places.
I'm looking at a few. I'm looking at the press images right now. And
yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't written R2 on the file name, I'd be thinking it's an R1.
Yeah, I kind of imagine like they could have just been driving this thing around and nobody would have known. It's annoying. They're sending me the link to the homepage. All right. Our press release. Getty event images. Oh, there's going to be a Getty event, it looks like.
No.
Do you know about that?
No. Getty, the image people that
right.
that are
because there's the Getty Center.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm looking at. Is there just press images on this thing, or is there like?
They gave us the R2 versus the R3 image. I'm gonna put that in the.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. Can you download it and put them two in the room for the boys? Because I'm just I'm trying to download all the R2 stuff from my post.
So I'm gonna put that in the room.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying that. So we're looking at the size difference now between the.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, we can't see that. All right. That's it. All right. So obviously the R2 is bigger in every way, or sorry, R1's bigger in every way. It doesn't have that antenna on the back either, I noticed.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Wheelbase is a little longer. I mean, it's basically just bigger in every dimension.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of lined up the front wheels there just to kind of show that's where they're starting from. All right. I hate when I do that. All right. Comparison. All right. So they had two comparison images.
Ian wants to know when you can make a food truck out of the Amazon delivery van. That's actually smart. I would like to see more options for food trucks that are electric. Yeah, we're gonna try to squeeze in that question, yeah. But I guess it is available though. Like since they open up deliveries to other customer than Amazon, or is it only fleet customer? Do you already absolutely need to buy a fleet to get the van, or?
I don't know.
Well, maybe we should ask him that, because that's an interesting question. When can you and I just decide to buy a Rivian van for yourself? Ask RJ if R2 will have Wi-Fi. Does the R1S doesn't have Wi-Fi? I think Wi-Fi is kind of standard in those.
Yeah, in fact, it has a free hotspot, which is nice.
Yeah, I would assume R2 will have a Wi-Fi capabilities.
All right,
maybe not free. Like you have to check out like all the options. So right now for my headline set, I have Rivian unveils R2 electric SUV, surprises with cheaper price, and one more thing mentioning the
I like that.
cousins, the new cousins R13, but they're going to be separate posts, obviously.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, I'll try to get some more images. It's frustrating because I can't, for whatever reason, log into. Here, I'm going to share this tab and then move this over.
Hayden, they're not stopping production. Well, I mean, there's never been production in Georgia. They're just going to launch production first of the R2 in normal, and then ramp up to Georgia, it sounds like. Which is not a bad idea. I mean, Tesla literally just announced the same thing for their next generation vehicles, which were supposed to be built at the new plant in Mexico. And then Elon was like, nah, it would make more sense since it's a new manufacturing system, which I assume that Rivian is also approaching the manufacturing differently for the next generation vehicle, higher volume, cheaper price. It comes with that. Like you have
look at this accessory right here.
The what rate?
The accessory.
Accessory. Oh yeah. They have a file for accessories. Yeah.
This is a new one. It looks like
I don't have a good look at it. But...
storage.
So it's like a storage that put on the toilet.
I guess unless you like it's a window box that you drive around with, but I think it's just for carrying outdoor stuff. It kind of makes it like a mini pickup. You can put like
I've seen that
dirt,
before. That
dirt.
exists.
All right, we got a big kind of a tool box on the toolie box on the roof there for your snowboards. I don't know what this is. Are they cooking something? Is that food? Yeah. Oh, what?
Okay, it's the new kitchen.
New camp kitchen. Oh, that's interesting. They did not announce that, or they didn't talk about it, but here we are. Cool. That looks. You remember we heard something about a new camp kitchen that would be on the rear. So this will probably be for all the R ones. Whoa, what? That's a large woman. Is it? What is going on? Is that like a tent?
Oh, that's a tent system. Yeah. Okay, so that's a new tent
That's weird.
system.
It looks like a TV or something with like a...
I think it might be some kind of accordion style tent that you pull out.
Well, I like this whole scene right here. Is like you got the food in the back and the woman in the cage on the roof.
Yeah, it does have a cage like look, you're right.
It's a joke, people. I don't need to be canceled. All right, let's see. I close this. It's hard to navigate in Dropboxes. Okay, interior.
Already, the image are not online just yet. They were sent out to the press as part of a package, but I would assume that Rivian is gonna integrate the website.
This is the rear. I like the rear. Is this the rear of the R2? No, this is the this is the R2 center console. So wait a minute. They're going to have a 4-person version of this? Oh, wait, is that the front?
Is that the front? Yeah, that could be the front. Though the seat, I don't know about the seat in this picture.
That is a little disconcerting. But yeah, I guess there's seats. You can kind of see the seats in the back behind there. So it's got to be the second row. All right, it looks like we've got a new kind of material there. We got, he said they removed the speakers from the doors. That's also like the Volvo EX30. Lots of room for water bottles and other crap, I guess. You got the flashlight projecting out there. It's interesting where the door locks are. But good look. Lots of room. Interesting about the front seats folding flat. I mean, that doesn't look like a terribly comfortable place to lay down, but I guess if you put a mattress over the front seats, it would be a little bit more comfortable. Does look like plenty of room back there.
And also, so I would assume you can work that with the driver's seat up and the passenger seat fully down too. So even more cargo space while driving.
Lumbar and stuff.
The length of the R3, they did mention it in the. They didn't mention it that it's shorter than the R2. I want to say like something like 50 millimeters, something like that. So 5 centimeters.
Yep, 2 glove boxes. I don't know why you need 2, but
the reaction from the crowd on that. I mean, I would assume that a lot of people in the crowd were Rivian employees and all that, but still the reaction was crazy.
Yeah, and now, I mean, right now the glove boxes are underneath the seats and they're small and they're kind of hard to get to and you have to know about them. So I guess this is good. Kind of weird that they didn't have them before though. Okay.
So Seth, the rear quarter windows opening, what did he say that was better for aerodynamics performance?
Yeah, I think when you have the rear window open, that was better or something. It's better than opening like fully the rear windows. Can we talk about the scroll wheels? Those things on the
they are massive.
Massive, yeah. And they look like they go all the way through. Like you can control them on the back too. You know what I mean? Like if you have your hands behind the wheel, you could control it from that side too.
Oh, you think they go all the way through?
I mean, look at the one on the left there. You can see it kind of from the back side.
No.
If that's a hole, maybe I'm seeing it wrong.
You might be right. I cannot confirm it from that picture.
And I like how that the speedometer type stuff is like into the kind of different than the what you would expect. All right, so that's 7 of 7 of the inside stuff. Are we missing anything from interior pictures here? Looks good to me. I like this. That's a weird material there. I wonder if that's still wood or if it's something multicolored wood. The center console looks kind of similar or reminiscent of the current one, where the light and Bluetooth speaker is now a drawer, which is nice. I don't think that Bluetooth speaker was as useful as they had hoped. Most people just listen to the stereo in their car. Are we missing anything here? The UI looks pretty similar to the current OS.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that they're going to leverage the current work that they did on the UI.
Yeah, that steering wheel scroll wheel is very interesting. I wonder, like, are they like haptic, or how do you push buttons on that? There's no obvious buttons there. It's just a big scroll wheel.
Well, just like that probably operates like similar to Tesla's.
Right.
That you can actually click the scroll wheels.
I hate how Dropbox works. All right, B-roll. Maybe we'll see some videos. That's pretty good. I think this is going to be popular if they can get them out the door.
Yeah. I mean, you ask air compressors. I don't think those vehicles have air suspension or air compressor in them. Yeah, I would be shocked if that's the case. Not at the price range we're talking.
Yeah, and the 3-motor one, that's kind of a new thing. I mean, I guess they've done 4 motors in the past. Here are all the windows going down and out. So theoretically, with all the windows down and this one out, you're going to have a lot of breeze coming in, like a convertible. You got the glass roof and everything. It's impressive that they're getting over 300 miles of range on a car this boxy. I mean, it is aerodynamic, but it does seem kind of like
well, that was an interesting part of it. Like, we don't have the battery capacity on this thing. We do know that it's a new battery type, new battery format that they are doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally new.
Yeah, 4690, what? 96, 90?
95.
95, 46, 95.
So 15 millimeters bigger than the 4680s that Tesla uses.
Yeah, so not massively bigger, but does make a significant difference. So I would assume that there is a decent, like, if you get over 300 miles, every configuration of the R2 gets over 300 miles, he said. And obviously the website originally mentioned 330, so up to 330.
Well, that's actually pretty impressive, because that means the $45,000 one is going to get 300 miles. We didn't expect that initially, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, I'm adding the interior pictures to the post now.
So it's weird. They say pricing will start around 45,000.
Oh, that's what it says on the. Where does it say that?
Well, on Courtney's email.
Oh, is there like a press release in the email too, or
no? It's that same email that she sent with the Dropbox though.
Huh.
First half of 2026. All right, should we end the keynote and just start working offline? I don't know if we're going to be able to add anything else.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, if you can just take note of some of because there were some good questions in there. I think.
Yeah, we can always jump back into the YouTube video and get these questions. I do appreciate everybody coming to watch and interacting with us. A lot of good questions. So appreciate that, everyone.
Yeah, and go check out Electrek.co. You're going to have a lot of information more coming on this. We are coming out right now. We have 3 different writers working on 3 different posts on each of these new vehicles. And you would presume that there's going to be a lot of new content coming in the next few days. There's the Electrek podcast that's going to be tomorrow, as usual. And obviously, we're going to have a whole debrief on during that podcast about after digesting all the information on this. And we're going to have, obviously, the CEO of Rivian also an interview. So all these things together are going to give us a lot more information. So do subscribe to the channel right now. If you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe, hit the notification button, and you're going to know when we go live tomorrow so that you're able to watch that show and get all the details. All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate you. We'll see you next time.